This week, 7 News is highlighting some of the issues that these nominees could elevate or downplay in the Virginia legislature, issues that could define the general election across 3 statewide races. 7 News sister station in Lynchburg sat down with the lieutenant governor nominees, and here's their positions on reproductive health and abortion access.
Abortions and reproductive care, as you know, the federal government is blocking funding to some clinics like Planned Parenthood aimed at restricting abortions. What's your plan to address that if you were elected?
It is such a tragedy that that funding is being blocked. As we know, so many individuals rely on the essential services of clinics such as Planned Parenthood. And one of the misunderstandings is that Planned Parenthood only focuses on abortion care. In fact, it focuses on a wide range of healthcare services, including services for men as well. And we know that healthcare is at a critical crisis point. When we decrease access and decrease resources, we put Virginians in harm's way. This is an issue that we have to really focus on and support through other means. This
is a topic that's near and dear to your heart about the Right to Contraceptive Act. You sponsored this act twice. It was twice vetoed by Governor Youngkin. Patients, as you know, now have access to contraception. I mean, why would you need to be able to protect it from like future challenges?
So our protection in Virginia actually comes from the federal level, and it comes from a 1965 decision that was the first decision, the Griswold decision, that gave all married couples in America the right to access contraception. And we know following the Dobbs decision, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas indicated in his brief, in his opinion, that he is ready to revisit the Griswold decision. So if that federal protection disappears, as it did in the fall of Roe v. Wade, if that federal protection goes away, then Virginians don't have a right to contraception. And in fact, we know that there's been many efforts to curtail the rights around contraceptive devices such as IUDs, around contraceptive medications such as the morning after pill and the birth control pill. This legislation is critical because it puts that state level protection into place in the Virginia Code.
That was Democratic nominee for Lieutenant Governor Ghazala Hashmi. Now here is the Republican nominee, John Reid.
Abortion and reproductive care. Yep. The federal government is blocking funding to those clinics like Planned Parenthood, as you know, aimed at restricting
which I'm very
abortions.
pleased by.
Right. Yep. Where do women then go if such clinics can't offer certain reproductive services? Where do they go?
Well, abortion is still legal, and the amendment that has been put forward by the Democrats is one of the most disingenuous, extreme amendments that's been proposed. I don't think that women are dependent on free clinics like Planned Parenthood, and I don't think taxpayer money should pay for abortions. If that is a conclusion that you reach, personally, I would try to politely discuss that with you if you were in my family, but I accept the law for the moment where it is. What I will not accept is the Democrat plan to take third trimester day of birth abortions and make it an unquestionable right in the state of Virginia. That's one of the most extreme positions on planet Earth, that on the day a baby's going to be born, they can put scissors in the back of the baby's head. Even the people that I know who are in their 20s, young women who believe that this is a fundamental civil rights issue, which again, I would discuss with them, but they're very firm on that. When I talk about day of birth abortion, they agree that crosses the line. It's too far. And my opponent and the Democrat Party seem to be doubling and tripling down on that. And I think it's wrong, and we've got to stop that.
All right, joining me now to discuss the contrast between these two nominees is Dr. Kara Ong-Whaley, Executive Director of Better Choices for Democracy, and she currently teaches in the Department of Politics at the University of Virginia, and Political Science Professor Gary Nordlinger from the George Washington University, who's in studio with me. Let's just take that one right away. How accurate are Reid's claims about day of birth abortions in Virginia, and how common are late-term abortions under this existing law? Either?
They are incredibly rare. I mean, remember they called them partial birth abortions for a while there, the pro-life crowd. I've never heard of one. Kara, do you have any vibe?
I Gary, I also don't have a sense that of anything other than these are extremely rare. But again, this is an issue that we know it ranks among the top 3 most salient issues among voters in Virginia right now. So it does help, and we do see both of the parties, lining up on their positions on this issue. But I think the Republicans could really risk making claims that could alienate suburban women and college-educated independents on this issue.
So, Kara, when it comes to the suburban women, the younger voters as well, groups most engaged on reproductive rights, how do you think they're going to respond to each candidate's stance here?
This is certainly one issue where we are seeing the ability of the Democrats to mobilize and find constituencies, again, among especially suburban women and college-educated women. But it's also mobilizing the base of Democrats and especially young women. And in the post-Dobbs era, the notion of protecting access and keeping politics out of the exam room really resonates with those blocks.
Gary, we've got 25 seconds here.
Listen, all 3 statewide Democratic candidates on their issues pages on their website have abortion rights as one of their primary issues. I don't recall seeing any of that on the Republican sites.
It's been a divisive line for a long time, and certainly defines how a lot of people vote. Gary and Kara, thank you on that one. Early voting in Virginia's November election is already underway, and to learn more about where the nominees for lieutenant governors stand, visit WJLA.com or scan that QR code on your screen. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, our panel will break down the nominees' positions on axing the Virginia car tax.